feel like I didn't get the memo, and I need to do like an eyebrow raising thing. But since I'm in the middle, I need to raise both of my eyebrows.
You should do that. Do that. I'll be the new thumbnail. I just was like throwing something together real quick.
No, that's it. That's a good one. I like that. Are we live again?
Now we're live.
We are
everywhere.
live.
We're now live everywhere. Okay.
Everywhere, like all the
Everywhere.
countries of the world.
All over. Okay.
What about Russia?
Probably not.
I don't think we made it to Russia. Man.
Somehow Sony got us blocked from Russia on a live stream.
Hey, maybe
Russia has blocked everybody for years.
maybe
they don't like us.
Maybe the Rumble is live in Russia. Maybe the
Rumble.
Yeah,
our
what the hell is Rumble?
Huh? Yeah,
what the hell is Rumble?
Right.
I don't know. We just live stream on it because we could do 3 at a time. So I was like, why the fuck not? So I just
does anybody ever show up on that?
No, we do.
On that one.
That's the person that donated, and we didn't see it and felt bad afterwards.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Rumble guy. We love you, man.
Yeah. Should I pull up the Rumble chat? Is there
a Rumble chat?
Is there even
a tech issues? Chat? What did I do? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is there even a Rumble chat going on?
I don't know, man. I didn't know there was a Rumble until you just said it.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Alba? Imagination in the chat, guys.
Welcome.
The chat box doesn't look like it's on the stream right now.
I see it now. There it is. Well, at least the YouTube one is.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Eddie?
Oh, there goes.
And Neo.
Yeah. We'll get started here in a second. Yeah, we were live on Twitch first, so that's why I should have followed us on Twitch. You could have heard all the craziness that we're talking about.
Yeah, you could have gotten that extra 96 seconds of content over there. Yeah.
Which you'll never see again unless you were here.
That's true, because Twitch just deletes that shit when it's done. Yeah.
That's why we got backup. We got this restream thing that backs up all of our podcasts.
Oh shit! So you know what? It will be there, but don't tell them that. Don't tell them that, man. Like, then they're just gonna come back later. You need them to be here now. Hey, chat. This is your only chance. Just stay. Don't move a muscle.
First and last chance to hear us talk about literally fucking nothing right now. Like,
we're talking about what we're talking about. All right. Hey. This is the conversation.
Troy Nini Army. Rumble is scary, but I'm double streaming. All right, I'll have a triple stream. There you go. Have it playing on 3.
What's Sunset Kiss? Is that the new BABYMETAL song?
Yep. With Polyphia.
Is that out officially? Like a video for it?
No, there is. Okay. They performed it at the O2, so there's like fan cams of it, and it's great. I like it a lot.
Like the fan cams are high quality enough that you think it's worth
both. Yeah, both. Okay. Yeah, the quality. It's somehow. Yeah, actually, I actually did a reaction on my channel. So if you all want to just go there, just leave this, just go watch that, and then come back. It'd be great. But probably
I disagree. I disagree.
But
stay here.
But the link that I used, the video
later.
The video I used in that was really good. So I can send it if you guys want to watch it. It's really good.
So, yeah, link me up. Why not?
Link me up.
Link me up.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that means something a little different nowadays, huh?
I don't know if I want to watch fan cams though. I think I'd rather wait for that.
It was good. I'm happy I did. I'm happy.
I do usually avoid them. I'm not gonna lie. Like fan cams can be really solid, but like there's been so many where they're like, I feel like by the time I get to the music video or an official live performance, I've already been spoiled, but like my expectations had gotten lower type of thing, you know, like I had already it's like getting the diet version of a drink before you have the real version of the drink, you know, and you don't want to ruin the taste for you.
That's where you went with that reference?
Yeah, 100%. If you have Diet Coke before you ever have Coke, you're going to be like, and then you have Coke afterwards, you're going to be like, okay, like, yeah, this Coke is good, but like I already kind of tasted this and it wasn't that good last time. So it's like, what am I really getting out of it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I was like, what were we talking about?
Talking about stuff, Alan. Stuff.
So what'd you guys think of the Hammer BABYMETAL interview? I thought it was too short. Way too short.
Oh, it was really short.
Yeah.
And it was really one that was
short. What, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
If that. And it was incredibly scripted, which is kind of annoying. I like more of the open conversational ones, but it was really short.
Yeah, generally I'd agree with that, but I just think that they're like, first of all, they very rarely do this. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard a fully English interview from them. they were definitely reading from like cue cards, or at least a couple of them were. But like, I think that this is more them trying for the first time to really just be comfortable in an English speaking setting. So they had to have something to like remind them of like what the words were and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
If I had to assume. I did I didn't unfortunately find like anything that they said to be like new information. You know, that was the only bummer to me. Like I kind of wanted them to give us spoil me on something, you know?
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that they at least went over like what their favorite songs were from the new album and their favorite collaborators were.
Yeah, those are some of the like obligatory questions that the interviewer had to ask, which I really like because I'm really happy that we got to kind of get a little bit of an inside knowledge on their thoughts of the album since there's still so much of it that we haven't heard, which is pretty cool. So I'm glad. I'm very glad. I wish it was a little bit longer. Come on.
It was probably, you know, they had it scripted like that probably. It was most of the time they do that. I know when we did the Fox interview, it was not as scripted, but that's because they're speaking Japanese. You could definitely tell it was nice and fluid. So they probably just did, like you guys said, just did that for this interview. But there's some parts where I thought they were going off script a little bit, where like you could see Moa correcting herself and stuff.
Yeah,
like she's very aware.
Do you guys prefer the English speaking interviews or the Japanese speaking interviews, like with subtitles?
I mean, Sue's gotten so much better at English that I'm okay with it, but you could tell Moa still getting better at it. So with her, I would have been like, oh, just do it in Japanese and then just put the English subtitles. I've been totally okay with that. So she could feel more comfortable, you know. But I know they're trying to get better at it, you know. So there's that too.
It's like the same question of like if you're gonna watch an anime, are you gonna watch it with subs or dubs? And like I'd rather watch it with subs just because I feel like you're getting the more genuine like representation of how they feel, you know, because I was actually talking to one of my friends the other day. It's like who has a girl who is she doesn't speak any Spanish or like a little bit of Spanish, but her mom is like a fluent Spanish speaker. And I was like wondering like how do you communicate like properly if you don't, you know, with your parent, like if you don't speak the same language. And it's like even if you do share like a lot of the same words, the sentiment gets lost a little bit sometimes. And that's kind of how I feel about this, where it's like they're saying the words that they need to say, but like if they're speaking in their own native language, they have the nuances and the subtleties that get you to like, you know, a little bit more of a representative response.
Have you guys seen the YouTubers that are like the polyglots, like the guys who can speak a ton of different languages and they go on, you know, those like Omegle chats and stuff like that and will like talk to people in their native tongue? You know, but first he's speaking English or like they're communicating sort of, it's a struggle. There's a language barrier. And then as soon as he starts speaking their native tongue and their language, you can just see it on their face that they just get so much more comfortable and so much more engaged in the conversation. It's less stiff. And so I think I like the Japanese interviews better, but I also like that they're trying, you know, I appreciate that they're trying to like speak English and put English out there for, you know, the Western audience, especially before they come to the US for a few months on tour. So I get it both ways, but I prefer.
Yeah, and it goes with their whole expansion thing too, because they were talking about it in the interview where the interviewer asked them like, you know, why are you doing all these collaborations, blah blah blah, and they were saying like we're trying to expand into the West, like we're trying to get this baby metal brand out there everywhere, not just in Japan. And speaking English obviously is part of that because English is, you know, the second language to most of the world. So I think that this is all just like a branching off of the same thing. Baby metal wants to blow up everywhere across the entire world. And you know, the more you appeal to the Western audience, the easier it's going to be for that half of the world to jump onto you.
And they definitely are. They definitely are starting to do that. You know, it's like this crazy resurgence with baby metal. Just all these collabs are just so high profile now, and it feels like it's just going to get more. So I was actually expecting Sue to say that her favorite was Slaughter to Prevail, and it made sense that Moa chose From Me to You. I don't know why. I was just like, yeah, that would be the songs that they pick. You know?
Did you guys catch? This is again it's that Poppy Gate, you know, conversation. Did you guys catch that Moa called it a collaboration with Jordan Fish?
Yes,
not with Poppy.
Yes. Oh, what do you?
Is there drama there or what? Like, or is it just like she just worked with Jordan Fish before, so it was just like what came to her head? Like, do you think that was intentional or?
I thought it was weird when she said, because she said From Me to You and then Jordan Fish. I knew Jordan Fish was part of that song, but I was like, oh yeah, why didn't she say Poppy? That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just there's nothing.
No, they're throwing hands. They're throwing hands backstage.
Eh,
That's the part we
yeah.
don't see. We don't see that, but
Shady's just starting shit now.
No, we didn't see Moa powerbomb Poppy backstage after the filming of that, unfortunately. We need the BTS on all of that shit. I think honestly they're just trying to speak as little as possible, to be honest. Like say as little words. So like I do want to give them credit, by the way, though. Like their articulation is like surprisingly
really good.
Yeah, like the way that they actually pronounce the words and stuff like that, especially Sue. Sue sounds fluent to an extent, at least. You know, like I know that they have the cue cards that they're reading, but the way that she's reading them off felt like she knew exactly what she was saying and like how to say it and stuff. The other two struggling a little bit more, but but you do notice a couple of times when they're like I think Moa or Momo looks over at the other two to like verify that what she's about to say is the correct.
She did that in the Fox interview too. She would look over to them as she was like giving her answers.
Yeah, so that means there's at least a little bit off the cuff there, you know, and they're thinking about the words rather than just reading them off.
For sure. Yeah. Scraith in the Twitch chat said in that PMC article, they said Jordan Fish, they went to Jordan Fish first and then he brought Poppy. So I think that's why.
Interesting. That's actually really interesting.
Throwing hands. We can't discredit that,
but like think about that. They went to Jordan Fish to collaborate because of the Bring Me the Horizon stuff,
which you should listen to.
Of what was going, not because of what was going on with Poppy. So this is more of like we worked with him previously and we want to work with him again type of deal. And so. Jordan was like, well, you know, I'm not working with Bring Me the Horizon anymore. We're working with Poppy, so we can bring her, I guess. And they were like, all right, bring her. Why not? Type of thing.
I'll be honest. I
love Poppy though.
Going back and listening to both songs now, like it is a tight race for me which one I prefer. Like I like the more I go back and listen From Me to You, the more I enjoy that song like over and over again.
Same.
I mean, I liked it to begin with. I thought for sure song 3 was going to be my favorite. But now that I've gone back and listened to both, like especially like back to back, I'm like, song 3 is a song. For Me to Use kind of a bop. Like it's kind of fun. Like it's a
song 3 is good, right? It's a good song, but From Me to You feels like there's more going on. Does that make sense? Like there's just more musically going on in that song than song 3. Song 3 is just a fun like simpler song, you know, when it comes to like the guitar riffs and stuff like that.
There's like 10 words total in the song. It's like that song Work by is it Rihanna? Or that work. Like sometimes like simplicity, it goes well.
It just works.
But I like From Me to You a lot.
Yeah. Did Champ freeze? Is that Frozen Champ? Oh, he is frozen.
That is a frozen champ.
That is a frozen champ.
Champ of the freeze.
Champ became a popsicle. Oh. This is what happens when Champ leaves. We get zoom in on Shade's face.
Hello. Thank you all for joining me.
Actually, they worked.
Damn, where's the dog? Where's Isla?
I don't even need to fix it. See, now we got the dog cam and we got you set up. That actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I need the dog up here though. That would be helpful instead of just looking at a big ass pillow.
Well, while we're waiting for him to get on, Saki is doing her first tour, Autumn Rain, that's coming up, and she got a support musician, the guitarist from Gotrek Spin, which I thought was pretty cool. Fantastic guitarist. She just released that over on oh my god, I always forget that's called X now. On X.
What so you've been a fan of Nemophila for a while. So when did they separate?
Oh man, she left. What was last year, guys? It was last year or something like that when she left. And it was last year. And then they decided to not even bring in another guitar, so they just did a 4-piece. And they just released a new cover too, right? They released a Linkin Park cover.
They did Linkin Park cover, yeah.
It was so funny. So we were working on a Linkin Park cover. We just finished it, and before they even released it, so I thought it was hilarious when they dropped it. That cover will be out soon, guys. I'm just waiting for Kyle Reed to do the video for it. But yeah, it was so funny. I'm like, wow, they read our mind.
You know what's crazy though? I bet because they're they're so like close and they play all the time. I bet they probably did that cover in like 2 takes. You know, I bet they just played it through 2 or 3 times and that was it. And they're like, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Probably.
Versus other people having to, take a long time. Hey,
Champ.
what's up, Champ?
Hey, Champ's back.
Hey,
He's not frozen.
hey guys.
He's not frozen.
I'm not frozen. I am very warm, actually. It's fucking 90 degrees out here.
So the Autumn Rain, which is just 3 shows. I mean, that's like do you consider that a tour, guys? It's funny how they list that as a tour. But 3 days.
3 shows? Is it a tour? I guess anything over 2 is a tour. I don't know.
Yeah, she's doing Shibuya, Rex, Heartland, and Rito is where she'll be playing over there. So if you guys are in Japan, go check it out.
Cool.
So I'm pretty sure this bassist right here, I saw her play when I was there. And if I remember correctly, she is a phenomenal bassist. It looks so familiar. I'm pretty sure she's in another group. I can't read the Japanese in here, so anybody in chat, please help me out with that. But I'm pretty sure that's the same bassist. But there's this band I saw in Japan, and she had a green bassist. She had a green bass and was just slapping the crap out. She was absolutely phenomenal.
Cool. I still love that. Like, I know we've talked about this before, but I love that the Japanese like female musician scene, it just has so much like cyclical rotation to what people can join what bands and who helps each other out and stuff like that. Because you get to get these combos that you would never think that you would be able to get, especially like, in the West, you don't really have that kind of rotation with the players involved. But like over there, it's like, I don't know, like Hana and Saki is a cool combination that like when I was listening to Nemophila and Gatric Spin, I wouldn't have ever thought that was going to happen.
They're saying I'm quiet. Here, I'll turn it up. See if that's better. Is that better, guys?
It sounds good to me, but I don't know what's broadcasting.
Yeah, maybe that should be better. Hopefully it is. But anyways, we got some bandmate news that I looked over really quickly. But Miku is going to be at the Anime Expo 2025 in LA, and I thought that was crazy. I don't know what she's doing. She will join as a special guest for a North American premiere, a screening episode 1 of Togen Anki, and participate in a special talk panel, which they're doing the ending song for this anime. So highly anticipated television anime adaptation of Yura. I'm going to butcher this name. Dark fantasy manga. You guys going to watch it? I might actually watch it. Let's see what it's about. No,
I'm probably not going to.
But I will
happy
listen
to hear
the
about it
song.
from you.
Yeah. You watch the show, we'll listen to the music. And there you go. I definitely want to hear. I like their anime stuff. I feel like they come up with like really like they don't sort of like hedge it. They write a full song, like a real song that could just be on like a bandmate album. So like I like it when that happens. Like I feel like there's a lot of groups out there that would be like, okay, we're trying to write just like a track for this like anime, so we're kind of gonna half-ass it. We got paid, blah blah blah.
They've also been doing it a lot. Like, isn't their last 3 songs been anime openings or closings?
They've been
like
doing quite a bit, yeah.
Zen, Ready to Rock, and I think there's another one. Maybe this one is the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, both of the past 2 releases have been like for an anime, which is pretty cool. But to your point, Champ, it doesn't. If you just listen to the song, I wouldn't have guessed it was like an anime song. I would just think that it's a bandmate song.
It's bandmate
sounds
track.
like them. Yeah, it sounds like them.
Yeah, I feel like they do that. They always put the same amount of effort into all of their music. You gotta respect that about a band.
Even their acoustic shows, when they kind of change up the set list, they were posting about it a lot, about how like the effort they were going into like the arrangement, which is pretty cool.
Those specifically, I think they put in more effort than they put into their regular songwriting, because that, to me at least, like coming up with it, taking a song that they already wrote and then like trying to rearrange it to. Like some of the tracks that they did at those Christmas shows are completely different. Like the melodies is retained, but the style of play, the notes that they're hitting, the lack of percussion in a lot of them, like it's a completely different song. It's pretty amazing that they were able to keep that same feeling and that same melodic styling, but like change everything else around it. I feel like that's even harder than writing a song from scratch, because now you have to like work within the bounds of what's already been created.
and make it different enough that it's unique, but not different enough that it changes it.
Yeah, exactly.
People listening still want it to sound like a Sainakidori, or like, you know what I mean? Like, you still want it to sound like the song that you love.
Yeah, 100%. I respect him for it. I respect them for all that effort that they put in. Also, but at the same time, I wonder how easy it is for Konami to just do that shit. Like, she might just like pop into the studio and it takes 10 minutes, and we're like, oh, okay, that's what happens when you actually have talent. I wouldn't know. You know?
So, Maximum Hormone dropped a video, and a music video, one of their old music videos that you had to like find on unlisted channels and stuff to go watch it. And I
think it was on one of their DVDs back in the day.
I remember I got a strike for that back in the day.
You tried to upload a DVD reaction?
No, it wasn't DVD reactions. It was a music video that was on their other label for this one. Yeah. So, and this was one of them, if I remember correctly. This was this one. You couldn't, because I remember having to look for that unlisted video to react to this. When actually our reaction's still up, though, it looks like, so that's cool. But they announced at the end that they're going to release a new music video, is what CMSC told me in the chat. So it doesn't even mean it's going to be a new song. They said new music video. So a lot of people were like, oh, they might be dropping a new song. I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, if anybody in the chat, listen, we were debating this before we even started, before we came on the air. Do any of you actually speak Japanese fluently? And don't give me your bullshit like, yeah, I've been on Duolingo trying to learn it, and now I know what some stuff means. Do any of you actually speak Japanese? Because if so, tell us what the fuck that says. Because I want to know. I want to know what's coming out. I want to know what they're releasing. There's some kanjis up there. That's what they're called, right? Kanji. Yeah. There's some letters up there, some little houses, and I want to know what they represent.
Well, I was about to say, maybe we can just put on captions, but no, they won't put. They don't have.
No, I tried. It's auto translated to Japanese. It's like it's already in Japanese, guys. I don't need the auto translation to that.
Well, I was thinking I could just like pop it into Google Translate to figure it out, but yeah. Maximum Hormone and Nori Metal and Baby Metal. Oh yeah, they did that. They did that show, right, with Maximum Hormone, the Baby Metal show.
That show. The Metaraji.
Yep.
Was that was yesterday that I think that came out, right?
Yeah. And stop holding your breath where Maximum Hormone is concerned. They're pulling a System of a Down on you, man. For sure.
Does System of a Down also not release music? I haven't followed their careers to know enough about what their deal is.
System of a Down's done. They're not going back. Yeah. Surge is not going back.
Is he not in the band? Like, has he quit the band?
No, yeah, he has. They've been trying. Been going back and forth with other members for so long. I just think they're done. He's just put, like, you can see some of the interviews where he's like, I just put it behind me, kind of thing. Yeah.
Kind of sad. But,
so this show is yesterday. Awesome. Nori Metal was inspired by MTH when writing Doki Doki Morning. I can see that music video is very Maximum Hormone. Doki Doki Morning is.
Even the vibe of the like really heavy right into like the super poppy catchy part. Like, I mean, that's the whole vibe is feeling kind of MTH, honestly.
Hey, shout out to the two people in the the Rumble chat. I see you guys over there. I see the 6
what
people
up, Rumblers?
Over in Rumble.
What's up, Rumblers?
What's that we're gonna call them now? We're gonna call them Rumblers.
I mean, they deserve their own nickname, don't they? Like, they're just chilling with 5 other people. Like, good for you guys. That's fucking baller.
So Champ got a little bit of a clap he didn't expect to happen for 2 of his favorite things. Yeah.
Yeah, I posted something. Oh, Shade might appreciate this too, I guess, at this point.
What have you done?
It's just everything.
A huge XG fan. I said to
this is Zelina Vega, women's champion,
I said,
WWE, U.S. Women's Champion in WWE.
Yep. Which I don't know who that is, but
a huge XG fan. I said to the person who does the music, I said, listen, I want Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, and XG complete in a circle.
XG?
I love XG.
Oh my God.
Such a massive XG mark. Like, huge.
Oh yeah, okay.
Huge. All the cybursts, that came from them.
Oh,
XG. everything I do with A1. Like I love them so much.
Hey.
There you go, little shooting star over there. Yeah, she just got new music, intro music, and she was like, "I want XG. I want it to sound like XG." I was like, "Hell, fucking yeah!" And then she did that little shooting star. Everything I do it A1 flawless. And I was like, "Oh, she's not bullshitting us either. She's actually a fan."
I love the reaction of the interviewer. He was like,
Yeah, he was
completely
shocked.
taken back. He was like, XG?
Yeah, like she said it first, and he like did not pick up on it at all. And the second time she said it, he thought about it for like 3 seconds. He was like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute." It's like, yeah, dude.
I love it.
Yeah, I was just so happy to hear, like, I love it whenever we hear any kind of Japanese music that like is over here happening. Like, why does Zelina Vega listen to XG? I don't know. She heard them somewhere. Where'd she hear it? I don't fucking know. But it's gotten to her, and that makes me happy.
To put in that category with like Meg Thee Stallion and like Nicki Minaj and then XG, I'm like, that's pretty dope. If you're like even in those conversations, like no one's comparing them, but like if you're even talked about in the same conversation as like two of probably like the most well-known names in hip hop right now, like that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love to hear it, man. It's just that it kind of, we know now that like, we've been talking about this for a few years where it's like we always want to hear some of this stuff actually get some play over in the West, even though, there's barriers often that comes with like the language barrier and stuff like that. But like XG doing everything in English obviously makes it a little bit more appealing for people that speak English. So, and we're just seeing Baby Metal now. They're doing more English in their songs with the collaborations as well as doing the English interviews. And it's like, I hate to say it because it feels so like, oh, I'm an American. You know what I mean?
It's
like
selfish almost.
Like, yeah, it's like, go English, because like, who the fuck am I? Like, there are other people that speak there's tons of languages, but as we were saying before, English is kind of like the world's second language, where it's like taught in all of these other, countries and stuff like that. Like over here in America, we don't have the option as like a second language to learn any language. Depending on the school that you're in, it's like I only had the option for German, Spanish, and
German? Really?
German, Spanish, and French.
German? I've
Yeah, we
never
had German,
heard of
Spanish, and French.
I've never heard of that. It was like everywhere in New York, it was Italian, Spanish, and French.
Whoa.
We didn't even have Italian as an option. I would have chosen that.
Yeah,
I had
did
Spanish.
Italian.
Yeah, so he just had Spanish. That's all he's got.
Spanish.
That makes sense for you.
It's an easy list. It was Spanish.
Yeah.
We're done. That was your option. That was your language credit. It was Spanish.
I mean, you went
And
to
everyone
school.
took it, and no one learned it. Like that. Everyone took it. No one learned it.
Yeah, that's how it always went in those schools. I don't. Did anyone actually go to their Spanish class or whatever class language that you chose and actually kept the language and stuck with it?
To be fair, I did.
I'm talking to the Americans here. Did anyone stick with it?
I do speak a little Spanish because I was, basically forced into it. But like I took German for a year and I retained 0% of it. It was the worst experience, dude. Like I didn't understand anything that was happening, and it felt like I was like such an idiot for like starting it in high school. It's like I'm 15 years old. I'm gonna start speaking this language now. What a waste of time, But
yeah, I'm taking Japanese lessons right now. Like I'm actively trying to learn it, and I'm like, man, I wish I would have done this when I was a kid, and my brain was more spongy,
malleable.
It's like, yeah, I have like weekly lessons, and every Monday when I show up to my lesson, I'm like, I forgot 70% of what we talked about last week. I'm like, let's just start over. Like, I'm retaining some. Don't get me wrong, but like by the time I get to that lesson again, like, good luck.
So some of it, Neil said he had an option for Latin. Really?
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know why they would offer.
Why would they offer
language.
that? They're assholes for that one.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, maybe they just want to make sure that you don't accidentally say any like curses into a book while you're reading a Latin book. That like things aren't just gonna like pop up and
it's literally
go on
not
fire.
a spoken language. It's not even a spoken language anymore.
It's only used for spells, man. That's what we use it for.
Spells.
If you want to make something disappear, you speak Latin. All right, but like the other languages don't have that capability.
Shade is fluent in Japanese. Don't believe his modesty.
Yeah, Shade. Introduce yourself right now. Can you introduce yourself in Japanese? Can you say, "Hey, I'm Shade"?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Konnichiwa, Shado, Dis.
Oh, there you go. See, I couldn't have done that. Can't even do it in German.
Onama Shada Dis. There you go.
All right.
I'm not going to try to replicate that. Like, I was listening to see if I could do that myself, but there was just so many syllables there that I'm going to give up right now.
Yeah. I didn't realize there were some places that had German, though. That's crazy in the U.S.
Yeah, German's cool.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I'm surprised you wouldn't
taken
expect
German.
it. Like, we're white, you know?
Yeah, but Spanish made
Offering
sense
white
to me.
languages.
Like, Spanish made sense because, like, it's like definitely the second biggest language in the U.S. for sure.
Oh, easily.
100%.
Like, easily.
You know? French,
Yeah,
I
like-
never got. I was like, why French? But I was like,
Sure.
oh, it's because we're close to Canada, right? So I'm
Yeah,
like, all right,
your
I
butt's
guess
in
it
love
kind of
with
makes
Canada.
sense. Yeah. But I mean, even they're starting to stop speaking French. You know, a lot of them are forgetting the language. Like, I know it's dominant in like one area of Canada. Most of them know English, but I guess that made sense. That made sense.
I wonder, like, in the other countries, like, you know, because we know that they offer English in like almost every country as like a second language, but I wonder if there are options to take like if you're going to school in Japan, can you forego English and learn Spanish?
I actually
for
don't
example?
think so. I could be completely off base here, but I think like English is a requirement, at least in like primary school, like elementary and primary school. I'm pretty sure it's like a requirement. And I just know that from watching like interviews and things where people talk about how they hate having to learn English. It's like they have to take like a little bit and they like hate it. They hate having to learn English, which I don't blame them. English is dumb hard if it's not native.
Yeah, I hate the fact that like I think about it now and how so many of our English words at this point, especially over the course of the last 30 years, have almost like flipped meanings to be like opposites. Like if you're going to call something hot or cool, there are like 15 different definitions of each of those words, and you're not going to know without context what you're actually saying about that.
That is so funny. On my stream last night,
You're right.
we did a
Forgot about that. New Orleans, yeah. New Orleans had a big, huge French presence. That's right.
I still do. But on my stream last night, someone requested a comedy skit of this guy who was from Europe who came to the US, and he was talking about all the different ways to use the word ass.
Yeah,
and
I know who you're talking about. I've seen that. It's so funny.
It's hilarious because he was talking about that almost exact same thing where he's like, it's used for so many different things. You think it would just mean but now it means all these other things. Like, and sometimes when you put ass, it just means the same thing.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you put an ass, it literally means the opposite. Like it's bad ass means it's good. Smart ass means you're dumb. Like, it's so good.
He does the exact same thing with the word shit also, and he's like trying to break down. So like it depends on the size of the shit that you are. If you are the shit, it means you're awesome. If you are shit, it means you're terrible. If you're a piece of shit, it means you're the worst of all of them. It's like he's fucking right. Like how the hell are you supposed to know that without just living here for fucking 20 years?
Well, he at the end of the skit, he was talking about like, he was like, and we're changing some words to now just mean ass. Like, he's like, you used to say a pain in the neck. Now we say a pain in the ass. And he was talking about different versions of that. And so he's doing a skit and we're all laughing in the chat. And then we start doing like a baby metal, like a concert on the stream. And I'm still thinking of that skit. And I'm thinking of the word headbang. And I'm like, oh, you could switch head. And I'm like, nope, not that one.
Ass
that
bang.
one. Very different, very different word.
This is an ass banging song right here.
Very different word. I was like, that one does not translate.
No, that one's going to be picked up by like the Western female hip hop stars. They're going to start using ass bang, and it's going to mean something very different.
That's what, oh my God, it's like a version of twerking. It's like you got headbang and then you got ass bang.
I was going to say WAP. That's like, they could rename the WAP music video to ass bang.
Well, I successfully derailed this. Alan, if you want to get back on track put up an article or something.
Well, I guess maybe not so much music related, but I know a lot of us who are planning on visiting or going to Japan, they are considering scrapping tax-free shopping for tourists. So they're going to be making things a little bit more expensive because they don't want it to be known as like, oh, it's a cheap place to go, because they're trying to attract people to go there.
And it's a big maybe. Let's just throw that out there.
Yeah, it is a big maybe.
The government wants them to do this, but like the small businesses don't want to have to make this change because they think they're attracting a lot more tourists. And getting more money that way. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to go through.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's good or
Well,
bad either.
Japan welcomed a record 36.8 million visitors last year due to weak yen and aims to draw 60 million travelers annually by 2030. But the ruling party, Kenji, said it was time for a popular tourist destination to move beyond its low price allure that boosts profits for local businesses. But you're saying the local businesses don't want to.
Well, yeah, they're making
are coming
because
in.
they're bringing more people in because of it. So if they can say, hey, we're not going to tax you, it's more likely that tourists are going to come through their places and buy stuff.
You can make a reasonable
yeah.
tax, right? It doesn't have to be crazy high. Maybe it's just like what, like a 2% or something tax, and it's nothing crazy,
So
right?
maybe I'm misreading it, because I thought what it was talking about is when you travel internationally and you come back through customs, you can go and you can essentially make a claim to, what you paid for to get a refund on your taxes. Like, but you already paid that in the country. You know what I mean? Like, and then you can go and you can get your tax, essentially. You can claim what you paid for and get like a tax reduction.
Oh,
I thought that's what it was talking about. So I don't see how this would affect individual businesses. This is more of like Japan's no longer going to be like, hey, we're not going to refund you back this. Like, this is going to stay in our economy. That's what I thought it meant. Because
is that what it's saying?
I don't know. That's what I thought. But
I don't know. I might be reading it wrong then. I didn't get that impression personally, but you could be right.
I hope they. I'll be honest. I kind of hope they do. Like, I've seen too many of these videos of like these asshole influencers going out and just being jerks, and like, I don't know if we can. I'm not against them charging a little extra for tourists. Like, I'm cool with it. Take my money.
So okay, I was looking into this. Yeah, I remember that when I was coming back, they asked you if you're bringing anything back, and you can fill out the tax-free form and things like that. So I didn't realize. I thought it meant like putting in like a tax at the actual businesses themselves, like when they're going there. But you might be right. Now that I'm like reading through this, it could be just that, which I think is totally fine. I mean, we already paid it anyways. Like, okay,
yeah, my thought is it would be
not
almost
getting our money back. Okay, it's fine.
It would be impossible to govern that. Like, how can an individual?
The real Killam in the chat is saying when you go to Japan as a tourist, you don't have to pay taxes if you show your passport. It's not everywhere though. So apparently you can avoid tax, according to Real Killam. You can avoid paying taxes if they know that you're a tourist, like actively while you're doing it.
The saying
you don't go. It says you don't pay tax at the storefront. So yes, storefronts will make more based on volume. So yeah,
Okay.
I think it is more about like when you're actually making the pay. I don't know enough about like the economics in Japan to know if that is a positive or a negative. Like overall, obviously the government is always going to want more taxes because that gets more money into the overall system that they can use.
So the consumption tax currently is set at 8% for food, 8% for food, and then drinks, and 10% for other goods is a vital revenue source for debt. So this is what they want to do for the government. But
Right.
also a strain on inflation squeezed domestic households. Japan's core inflation rate accelerated to 3.2% in March. With consumers hit by rising electricity bills, kitchen staples like rice, tourists are exempt from paying the 10% levy on items above 5,000 yen, 34 US dollars, as they are meant to be taken out of the country.
Yeah,
But-
I don't know.
And
I
then
don't know.
what's going on, though, is however many exploit the system by reselling the items locally at a profit. So
that's pretty dirty. I get why you would do it. It's a pretty dirty move. I just don't know if like, because is it just our American brains, or at least my American brain, that thinks like,
Japan's
wow, it's wild that people didn't have to pay taxes.
Well, here's another thing
Yeah.
that's happening.
I'm with you.
Not to get too in the weeds with the economic stuff with Japan, but another thing that happens in Japan is everyone borrows money in yen because it's deflationary. Like, it's super cheap to borrow money from them, and they can just reinvest that. So a lot of things have been going on now that they're not stuck in a line, and this is actually going up, like it's saying here. The inflation rate's actually going up. But a lot of people are freaking out and pulling out money from the Japanese economy. So there's a lot of things on the horizon right now that's been making like the markets go crazy. So it's interesting that they're doing this. But so for many years, people have been borrowing money from Japan for stupid cheap. Like you make money literally. What you
Yeah.
borrow it and immediately start making money from it.
They're like the opposite of us in this way because like I just thinking about our government, you would assume that like tourists that are coming over, our government would want to charge them more taxes. Like definitely. If they had the choice, the option to do so, they want people that are coming over here that don't live here to pay more money than the people that do live here. And Japan's literally had this set up as the opposite. So it's like kind of blowing my mind that even existed in the first place. And I think that's just our government like kind of ingrained into my brain that this is the way things are done, I guess. I don't know what would be better. You know what I mean? Like obviously our government thinks that like, we don't need other people to come over here. Blah
So,
blah 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 blah.
Another thing, I'd even like Flag Checker saying in the chat, everyone forgets to stop at the tax counter at the airport. So what do? You save all your receipts or whatnot on everything that you purchase? I didn't do any of that. I didn't even know you could do that.
Depending on how much you're spending, it may or may not be worth the hassle. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
Yeah, I guess because like if you're just gonna be buying like some food and some like I don't know shirts or something like that, ultimately you might only be getting like $20 back.
Hey, that's
at the end of
$20,
it.
bro. All right, that's $20.
But do I have to wait in line for 4 hours to get that $20? Because I don't know if that's worth it.
True. If it's a 4 hour wait in line, then no, fuck no.
I wonder what it is. If I were them, I would make it hard. You know what I mean? It would be like the DMV. Like, let's make these fuckers wait for hours to get this money back if they actually want it.
Right. All right. We haven't done this in a minute. We got the top 10.
Dun dun dun.
Been like 3 weeks. 4 weeks since the top
I know.
10, so
Yeah, we had a.
you're going to see some movement.
Well, yeah, we're gonna see some drastic movement. Well, we have a lot of new entries this week. We have Hanabi that was added in there. Spicy Queen. We had Survive Said the Prophet. We had Gokuman Club Waza. I have never heard of that.
I can't believe Hanabiya didn't break the top 10. That's kind of blowing my mind a little bit too.
I know. Go out there and listen to her. Soki Naro. Oh, they did a bandmate cover. I haven't checked that out yet.
Oh, cool. Real Existence.
Yeah,
Good
they
song
did Real
too.
Existence.
It's a
I
good
Live
song.
Dopa did drop. I think they dropped the whole album now. It should be out now. I know we talked about that during their interview. Roselia, that's a really good band. You guys should check them out too.
Roselia is cool. Roselia is cool. I do want to throw out that STMLT dropped a new track this morning, like 10 hours ago or something like that.
Oh, did it really?
And I did listen to it. It was pretty good. Like I always kind of view them, no offense, as Hanabiya light, but I think that this one is a little bit different than some of the other stuff that I've heard from them in the past. It's worth listening to. Also, Neck dropped a new track that I listened to. I thought that one was really cool. They remind me of like 90s alternative stuff.
Yeah, isn't I could be mistaken with that group. Aren't they like the Bandmade like younger sister group is what they're calling them? Like Necky's like they're like
I still don't
I was like
understand that.
Bandmade adjacent. I don't. That's what I've heard because I did a reaction to one of their songs and I think people were saying that, but I could be mixing that up with another group.
What
and
happened?
I don't understand what that means either, to be honest.
What's been happening is it seems like the Bandmade fan base really likes Nike a lot, and I think that's why they got it. But they don't sound alike at all, in my opinion.
I don't think they
so.
sound alike either.
Yeah. That's why I was confused with the terminology.
But I do see why there would be like a crossover of like the interest, just because it's taking it back to like, while Bandmade might be harkening back to like a more of a 89 through 1993 feel. I think Neck is more like a 93 through 97 feel. Just like in the alt rock scene type of thing. So like, there's going to be some crossover from like generations who enjoy both that decade of music, basically.
But thanks Dundon for reminding me. When they first started, they were doing a lot of Bandmade covers.
It's not Neck. How do you pronounce it?
It's Necky.
Sorry.
Yeah. But that's right. They did a lot of Bandmade covers, so that's probably why. That makes But still, I still don't
gonna
get
be
it.
number one, or this is flawed.
But I don't hear the Bandmade influence. I'm sorry, I don't hear it. I mean, do you guys hear it? Do you hear a Bandmade influence in it? I don't hear
I've heard
it.
a couple of their songs and I don't hear it.
I haven't listened to enough of their music to like really know for sure, but like the few songs that I have heard, like I said, it feels like it's a little bit later in the, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear their bass tone. I hear the bass similarities, like the way that they pull forward the bass to be a lot more prominent in the sound of the song. But I feel like a lot of Japanese bands do that. I don't know if that's just a Bandmade thing.
Yeah.
But like when I listen to their song, like the bass is very up front, which I love. I love that like chuggy bass sound. And so like they do that, which I really appreciate. But
Dude,
I don't know if it's
Bandmate, and most people don't agree with me on this, but I'm going to say it until the day that I die. Bandmate reminds me of Guns N' Roses, and Nicki reminds me of the Toadies. Those those are very different, but like kind of in the same years.
How the fuck do you get Guns N' Roses?
Because they sound like Guns N' Roses.
They do not sound like Guns N' Roses.
Understand this? They actually have a song that starts out almost identically to a Guns N' Roses song. Like it's literally like bar for bar.
You know what? Okay, if you talk about the instrumentation, I can hear it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Of course, not the vocals. Saki doesn't sound like Axel. Nobody sounds like Axel, except for like the anime girls sound more like Axel than anybody else sounds like Axel, you know? But like musically, like the guitar work is super. Like I know she was inspired by Slash. Like she's talked about it before. So
Goat in the chat says Nicki is not pop rock. That's debatable. That's debatable. They're kind of pop rock.
Yeah, they're all pop rock. They're alternative mid-90s rock. Come on, let's call it what it is, guys.
Nicki is metalverse for Bandmate, in my opinion. Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, yeah. Whatever happened to the whole metalverse thing with Baby Metal?
I guess that's what this is. Maybe that's what this is, right? Like all the collabs. This is the metalverse.
Yeah. Bandmate,
I don't know.
Bandmate definitely cuter than GNR.
That's debatable, guys.
Depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask.
Depends on who you ask, for sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Even as a straight man, when I was 18 years old, I saw Axl Rose, and I questioned myself for a little while. So,
all right, back to the top 10. We got Passcode. Did you guys listen to the new Passcode song yet?
I did. Yeah, that's next. Yeah.
I think I did as well.
I'll say this. I love Passcode. This is not one of my favorite Passcode songs. It's a good song, but it's definitely like on the more like catchy, lighter side. There's a whole middle part where it's like gets heavy again, but it's I don't know. It sounds a little bit too poppy for me for the most part.
Yeah,
but it's still a good track.
Yeah, Ray Rafa said the Metalverse group was a flop. Yeah, that's probably why they haven't.
Oh, they had some cool songs. They had that kind of like swing style metal song. I can't remember the name. It was like Jesse. Dude, I can't remember the name, but it was fun. But that's literally the only song I've heard that was cool.
That's crazy. They really promoted that pretty hard. I'm surprised that's just gone.
It was a weird promotion though, in my opinion, because all they did is just copy and paste. Like they literally put them in the same outfits, the same style. Like it was odd to me. Crazy J, that's what it was. Yeah, I thought I couldn't see a pathway where that was going to be successful.
I don't know, because I really thought their plan was like, okay, the Baby Metal girls are like in their 20s now, so we're going to start over again, basically. Yeah. And I thought that was going to work, because I feel like people are always looking for the next thing, you know what I mean? And people like Baby Metal, and there's a lot of people that liked them better before what they became now. Like there's a lot of old school Baby Metal fans that really like their previous sound. So I thought it was going to work. I'm surprised it just flopped instantly.
Yeah. Well, they pivoted out of it. Who knows? Watch is going to come back.
Or maybe, yeah, it could. It's still
They're going to sneak into the top 10 next week. Just wait.
Yeah, with the track we've never heard of before.
Well, I can't play these little clip samples, but it's okay. We'll just go through the top 10. So at 9, we have Bandmade with Ready to Rock dropping 3 spots. Okay. Oh no, it's about to get knocked off the top 10.
Yeah, but they're going to come right back with their next one.
Yeah. Yorushika is at 8. Number 7, we have Baby Metal coming with the Slaughter to Prevail. Number 3. Number 6, we have Zutomayo at 6. At 5, we got Sushi Hoshimachi, Beautiful Things. At 4, we got Otto. Charles produced Kitani Tatsuya, holding steady at 4. Number 3, Baby Metal again, From Me to You. Number 2, Otto. Otto's always taking over the top 10 constantly. Mm-hmm. And number 1, we have Yorushika, Martian.
So we got 2 Yoroshikas, we got 2 Autos, and 2 Baby Metals.
2 Baby Metals, yeah.
Yeah, we got to. So I guess we know what's going to be big going into the second half of 2025. Yeah, I've never even.
His Hannah BA is not on there.
Well, they will be.
They're at 13 right now. Just
give him a week.
Goat needs to listen to the song a million more times so they can get to number one.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
All right,
All right, guys.
Shit's rigged.
Appreciate y'all joining us. You guys have a good one. See you. Well, we're not sure if we're gonna do a show next Sunday. It might be a little tricky next Sunday, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to do it. I just don't know how I'm gonna run the stream because I'm literally getting on a plane in the morning. So maybe I can do it.
Where are you gonna be?
Because I'm going to Dallas for the Baby Metal concert on Saturday, and then I fly out super early in the morning Sunday. But I should make it. But we'll let you guys know. We'll keep you guys in the loop on that.
Yeah, maybe we'll post something and see if we could do it a little later in the day. Ask you guys how you feel about it or something like that.
Yeah. All right, guys. See y'all in the next one. See you.